Hi everyone, welcome to Automation Testing Series by Star Agile. I am Satyam. I'll be your guide throughout this journey. In this lecture, we'll be covering AI-powered test case generation using Copilot. So let's get started. In this lecture, we will understand how exactly we can write the test cases using Copilot. So Copilot is basically a AI-based tool which will be helpful in doing different tasks. But particularly if you talk about the testing perspective, then we'll be using how exactly we'll be using Copilot to generate the test cases. We'll explain it. So as I told, like Copilot is helpful to create the test cases, right? So to create the test case, we need to have scenarios, right? Scenarios. So what exactly the scenario is, right? So let me open some application. So suppose I'll go with facebook.com, right? So suppose this is an application, right? So in this application, there can be one scenario to enter, to validate this first name or email address or phone number, to validate this password, to validate, user is able to click on this login button, to validate whether, you are able to click on forgotten password, create new account, right? So these are called web elements on the pages. So whatever you see on the page, these all are web elements, right? So I'll explain with one example. So suppose this is input field where basically we enter email address or phone number, and suppose the scenario can be write the test case for the scenario to validate the first first input box of this particular link, right? So how exactly we'll do with the Copilot? Okay, so first I have already opened it. So we need to go to copilot.microsoft.com. So this tool is being developed by Microsoft, right? And this is most known tool in software industry. So still, I mean, there are many others like like ChatGPT, right? But Copilot is being developed by Microsoft. So most of the companies are having Copilot, right? Copilot in the company, you can say. So when you open the Teams, right? I mean, many of you will be working on, in some company, right? So when you open Microsoft Teams, there by default you will get an option of Copilot that has been introduced by Microsoft. So if you want to write the emails or you do any sort of task, right, in that case you can use this Copilot tool. So currently our focus is basically how exactly we can write the test case using Copilot. Okay, so first of all, before writing the test cases, I'll just explain briefly what exactly the test case is and what all the steps are involved in test cases, right? So let's go here, test case, right? So first of all, test case have cut certain number of steps. So what is test case? Test case is basically what exactly you are going to do or how exactly the testing will be performed will be carried out by referring the test cases. So in every industry, tester will write the test case once they have done the walkthrough of the requirement. They will write the test case, right? So once a certain number of test cases has been written, so see, these test cases can be of two types. One, it can be of positive scenarios, one is of negative scenarios. Okay, so first of all, test cases has been derived from test scenarios. Okay, so test cases are derived from test scenarios. So whatever the test scenarios are there, we make sure each and every scenario has got one test case, right? So every scenario should have one test case. Now, so what exactly it is? So you must have heard about traceability matrix. Traceability matrix. So what exactly the traceability matrix is? So basically, traceability matrix makes sure each and every scenario got at least one test case. Understood? So that's how. So first we write the scenarios, and from the scenarios we derive the test cases. Okay, so as I showed facebook.com, so suppose you need to validate first name, password or login feature. How exactly we can do it, right? So let's take an example of login button, right? So login button is the scenario can be users are able to click on this login button or not, right? So this is the scenario. Now we need to write the test case for it. So how Copilot will be used in that case? So we need to write here, write test cases for the below scenario. Once you type this, then you'll get to know here. So you need to tell here, just let me know what feature or behavior it is. Okay, I'll write detail Playwright test case. For example, is it a login flow or form validation or what? So what we need to do is like, we need to provide the URL so that they will know what exactly URL we need to refer. So we need to mention again, please write the test cases for below URL, right? So here, so see, that is the main kind of great feature they have. So I didn't have to provide what exactly it is. It has been already fetch up because I have opened it here, facebook.com, or else I would have checked it here also, facebook.com, right? So with this URL only it has been picked, but you can also provide here the URL what you have taken it, right? So currently it is providing Playwright test case. Okay, so what exactly we can do is, let me go to separate Copilot. It is asking username and password, so we can skip that. Rather than that, we can go with this. Yeah, this has been fetched. So what we can do is we can write here, write the test case for the below scenario for the URL. You can give the URL here, right? So Copilot is that smart that they will fetch what exactly the URL it is. So it is asking, like, for example, are you testing login functionality, validating page load, what exactly the scenario you are looking for. So we'll explicitly tell we are looking to have the test cases for login functionality. So right, so we can give it over here. So here it has been given functional test case for login, valid login, invalid login, right? Invalid password, invalid email, blank. So many test cases it has been given by Copilot. Now what exactly it is? So see, it is carrying both positive as well as negative scenarios. But suppose your organization will be following certain format, right? In what exactly the format you would require the test cases should be, right? So let me open one Word file. How exactly the scenario should be, the steps should be. So basically, test cases carrying various steps. So first step would be kind of, you can see serial number. Second step can be test summary. Third can be test scenario. Then we can have test data, then test steps, then test steps. After that we can have any validation steps, right? Like how exactly, like accept a result, right? So we can do that result. We can give actual result. So these are the basic, kind of, columns should be present in any test case when you write it. Serial number is, right, serial number, what exactly the test case is, what, what is the numbering basically. Summary, you can give like what exactly the test case all about. Scenario, right, what exactly the scenario should be. So summary's brief part will be the scenario. Suppose scenario is like, we need to go, we need to log into the functionality of an application, right? So here the scenario will be login to an application. So login functionality, or you can say like, check the login functionality of an application. Test data will be, what exactly, you are using it here, right? Test data, right? Like what is the username you are using for login, what is the password you are using, what is the URL you are using here. So those all the things includes in test data. Test steps is like how exactly you are reproducing that particular, or how exactly, you are testing that particular feature. So that steps should be written here. What is the accepted result, right? So what exactly you are basically, finding out, what exactly you are trying to get it, so that you can give it here result, like what are you expecting. Actual result is like what should be happen. So suppose if you click on login, right, so login button or login page opens. So we need to make sure like, so accepted result we can write like, login should happen when we click on this. Here we should write like, so login has been happened, or login has happened, right? So this is how we deal with. So we'll give this, we'll copy this point, and we'll tell to the Copilot that please provide test cases in the below format, right? So it will show the below form. So they have provided in their, normal format they want to be, but we will give our format. Please provide test cases in above format. So now you see that. So in this, you can see here, test summary, test scenario, test data, right? It has been provided. Test steps for invalid, blank emails, all the functionality you have got it here. URL, right? What is the, expected result, what is the actual result, everything you have got it over here. So whatever the format you want to write, right, just give your scenario name, and after that you give what is the test steps, and in that test step the Copilot will, write the test cases. That is the best functionality, I have ever seen in this Copilot. Even this I also use in various, projects which I will be working on, or which I am still working on, right? So these are all the things we can use it. Also, like when suppose test cases have been generated, right? So we want to write like, if suppose some positive and negative test cases it has been added, we will tell please add edge cases to in this test case, or else in above test cases, right? So now it will add the edge cases also in this format, right? See, so earlier the test cases has been provided was only 10, including positive and negative. Now you see, since it has been included with edge cases also, so now the test case count has been increased to 18, right? So this is the one thing. And also suppose like, this has been added. If you want like, please add accessibility and security test cases too. So now it will add accessibility and security test cases. So whatever is your requirement, right, everything will be written here, everything will be added over here as per your requirement. See, now it has been added all the things. So this is how it is, right? Whatever is your requirement, you need to give your prompt, and according to that prompt they will add it. See, accessibility test cases it has been written, security test cases it has been written. Now what we can do is like, we can, if suppose if you want these test cases to export in Excel file, so what we can say is please export test cases into Excel sheet, right? Now see what happens here. So here it is showing I have created Excel sheet file containing Facebook test codes. It is good. Not sure why it is not showing over here, but exactly what exactly you can do alternatively is whatever test cases has been written here, right? Just copy paste. Just copy paste, right? And go to the Excel file. So see here, whatever I have copied, it has been come. So this is how we can create the test cases, and you can just copy paste. Ideally it shows over there like you can download your Excel sheet over there itself. It will automatically generate the Excel sheet for your all the scenarios, all the test cases, right? But if it is not happening in few of the cases, then what you can do is just copy paste all the scenarios and test cases and just copy it over here. Okay, and these things you can just validate it what exactly it has been written. So these are the steps, description, expected result, everything is there, right? Suppose if you want to tell, please add as we spoke before, right? Please add more negative scenarios. Now it will add more negative scenarios over there. See, so separately it has given login functionality, these are the negative scenarios, sign up functionality, these are the negative, post creation, these are the negative scenarios, all the negative scenarios are present here. What you need to just copy it from here and just paste it over here, right? See, so this will ease your time, right? This will save your time. Why? Because if you go manually and write the test cases for any of the scenario, it will be very much time taking. Also, you never know like what exactly the scenario you have missed it, right? But if you provide your scenario in the Copilot, it itself will write the test cases for you. What you need to do, just copy it and just paste it over here, and you can just verify it, what all the functionality it has been covered, what are the test cases it has been covered, right? If something is missing, then in that case you can go, but that is the very rare case that anything will be missing, right? So this is how you can write the test cases using the Copilot, and you can save your time when you want to write the test cases, because you being in the company, you will be involved in other things also, right? Other testing activities, right? So to avoid time delay or to save the time, then you can use this format and do it. So only thing you need to remember is the prompts. What are the prompts I have given it basically? See, so the prompts I have given from here is write test cases for this URL. You need to provide the URL. Then it has been provided it. What you can do is like you can say like generate Excel report or certain format. If you need it, you can give your format that write the test case for this particular format, or any format you can give it here. So in that format it will generate the test cases, right? So this is how we will be dealing with writing the test cases using Copilot. Okay guys, so to summarize this, what all the things we have learned, how exactly we can write the test cases using the Copilot. I just summarize it so that you guys will remember the key points, right? Okay, so first thing would be you need to find out clearly what feature you want to run it, right? So you need to define feature over there in the prompt, for what feature you want to write the test case. You need to provide your requirement clearly so that Copilot will understand for what you need. I mean Copilot has to generate the test case, right? So you need to provide the feature clearly, you need to provide the requirement clearly, and it will be like suppose like you need to write a manual. See, first sometimes what happens, it get confused between manual and automation script. Okay, so you need to tell like create manual test step for the login function or for security, for accessibility, right? So those are the things you need to mention it properly. The last would be kind of specifically tell like number of test cases, how many number of test cases you need it, how many negative test cases, positive test cases, edge test cases, all the things you need, right? Once these all are generated, then you can say like just add it all together, and then you can just copy paste and keep it in the Excel sheet, right? So see, the best practice would be just be specific with your prompt, what exactly you are giving it, because prompt is the main thing in any AI tool, right? Either it is Copilot or ChatGPT, right? So since we are talking about Copilot, so be specific with the prompt, right? Clearly specify what is the positive, do you require positive scenario, negative scenario, edge cases, or all the things, right? This you need to tell it clearly. Third thing would be use proper test data, right? Like since I have provided their URL, right? If you don't provide the URL, the Copilot will not know like for what exactly you need to write the test case, right? So clearly you provide the test data, like what would be the URL or certain number of suppose you want to write the test case for the valid scenario, then you can provide your own test data, like what is the username and password you yourself are having. Anyways, they will create it, but you can also provide your own data so that Copilot it will be helpful for the Copilot to generate the proper test case, right? So this is how we can write the test case using Copilot, right guys? So yeah, we'll see you in the next video now. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. And if you are looking to earn a globally recognized certification in automation testing, be sure to check our Star Agile automation testing course. The link is in description. Thanks for watching and keep learning. I will see you in the next video.